This series was being looked at as a return of Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli to the international arena after a gap of 5 months. Unfortunately, the series hasn't quite turned out the way the Indian team would have wanted. They've lost the series, 2 matches in, 2-0 they've lost. The third game in Sydney is inconsequential in that sense. But this particular ODI that we're talking about, the Adelaide, where I'm going to be giving you the match report, was mixed bag, good for one of the Roko Jodi and not so great for the other one. But before I address Rohit and Virat, the number one, the showstoppers, the one that people are most interested about, let's talk about the match itself. India losing this game in Adelaide, I think, was a much better display if you compare it to what you saw in the Perth game. This game could have gotten much closer, could have gone either way. In the end, Australia winning by a close margin of just 2 wickets. And certain things, if they had gone in India's favour, who knows, the result could have been different. Let's break down what those areas could be. First and foremost, 17 tosses in a row, India has lost in ODI. That must be some sort of a record. The chances of that happening are 1 in a million, but that's happened. And why it's made matters worse is because this is still winters in Australia. The summer season is about to, get started. That's when you get the good batting pitches. Right now, there's a lot of juice on the pitches. That's why batting is tough, and especially if you are made to bat first. That's exactly what Australia did. Both occasions, they won the toss, put India in, and the first hour and a half is almost impossible to bat on. And I think that puts the team that's batting first at a distinct disadvantage. And that's exactly what happened today as well. So one, India losing the toss, yet they went on to get 264, which was a decent total. But reverse the situation, Australia batting first, even they would have found it tough to get a total higher than 260. So that, the luck of the draw, not going in India's way. The other thing, even with 264, I think India needed another match-winning bowler. They have Arshdeep, they have a Siraj. On a given day, they can win you games. But I think you needed another one, maybe a Kuldeep Yadav to get in. If with a Kuldeep Yadav in that bowling attack, maybe the result could have been different too. We saw Zampa pick up so many wickets on the same pitch, and we know Kuldeep Yadav is a class bowler, was your standout performer in the Asia Cup recently as well with a white ball, so he could have done the trick. Unfortunately, India can't fit him in the 11. There are various ways that you can fit him in, but right now the jury is divided on that, and there is no one definite answer. But I still feel if you had another match winner in that bowling lineup, who knows, the result could have been different. The other thing, I think, where India erred, even while defending 264, it's learnings for the captain in Shubman Gill. I think he's still a work in progress. Today, carried on with Harshit Rana and Akshar Patel for a little too long, I believe. Should have gotten Siraj and Arshdeep to come in a bit early towards the latter half of the game. Who knows, the result then could have been slightly different. So these are few errors that India made. Otherwise, we very well could have had it 1-1 going into Sydney. But that is all spilt milk. Let's not cry over it. And let's talk about the things that really panned out. And I know you're interested in listening to Rohit Sharma 73, what do I make of it? And Virat Kohli's back-to-back ducks. Let's start with Virat. I don't think, in fact, it is a stat. Never in his career in ODI cricket he's had 2 back-to-back ducks. So this is unfamiliar territory already for Virat Kohli. But that's not to say that he's not allowed to have 2 bad days. Of course he is. I don't think one should be judging him for that. He's had obviously bad days in the past as well. He's always found a way to come back. However, and that's the important bit, however, what is happening to him now is slightly different to the Virat Kohli I've seen before. And I think that is something that we need to notice. Can Virat fail? Of course he can. Can he bounce back? Of course he can. But what is unusual this time around, something that I picked up, is that I see a very tentative version of Virat Kohli. I see a very unsure version of Virat Kohli. He spent about 12 deliveries on the crease. That in itself is enough to tell you that this is not the Virat Kohli we are so used to. In the past as well, when he went through a bad phase, he'd still be so confident, knowing fully well what is it that he needs to do. He would still play sometime a bad stroke here or there, but he'd still be very confident in the usual Virat. I think what I've seen in these 12 deliveries, he's not unsure. I don't know whether he's unsure. I don't know whether that is because he's coming back after a gap of 5 months, which is the longest break that he's had in his career. That is causing this confusion in his head and not being completely sure about what he needs to do to the deliveries that are coming in or going out, just as Bartlett set him up today very easily, taking balls away and then bringing one in. He's used to that. He's done it before. But why is it? I don't know. Maybe it's the 5-month gap, as I said, or is it all the chatter that's happening on the outside? Because never has his position in ODI cricket ever come under the scanner. This is again unfamiliar territory. Yes, T20 cricket he's faced some sort of question marks, Test cricket towards the end of his career, but one day cricket he used to boss this format. I'm sure he's not oblivious to all things that are being spoken about it. Has that caused him to be a bit more tentative? I don't know. But he's looked slightly different to the version of Virat that I've seen for more than a decade. Can he bounce back from that? The answer to that is, of course he can. But he needs to really get back into the groove, get back into the Virat Kohli mold that we all know him for. That's Virat. Now to Rohit Sharma. Much needed 73 for him. But there's a difference. As I spoke about Virat, it doesn't surprise me that Rohit got runs here, because even in that knock in the first game, and even if the initial period here where he was looking, playing and missing and runs weren't coming in Adelaide as well, at no point did you see Rohit being unsure. It still felt like as if, he's the same Rohit Sharma. He knows exactly what to do. Runs may come, may not come. That's another thing. But he's assured of what he needs to do and is clear in his mind what he needs to do when he's on the crease. And that is why it doesn't surprise me that he got these runs. What really stood out is his approach. In the last few years, we've seen him play a very different brand of cricket, where his strike rate has gone to close to 120. He had to play very different cricket now, and that different avatar, and the fact that he can mold himself into that different avatar bases the conditions, bases the fact that the ball was moving around. I think that then shows the experience that got him into playing. That should now calm the nerves down. I don't know whether it's calmed Rohit's nerves down or not. Surely it would have, with a lot of conversation around Rohit Sharma and his long-term future as well, but also for people from the outside who may have been putting some pressure, even when it's fans, media, whatever, about how long can he play. I think it will also help them calm down and calm their nerves down, and that constant questioning that was happening with Rohit Sharma may also stop. So crucial knock for Rohit Sharma under testing circumstances, and that also came to the fore in the Adelaide game. The final game in Sydney, inconsequential because Australia has already won, but it'll have a context, an important one at that. Once again, that'll be Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. That was the match report of the Adelaide ODI, which India unfortunately lost. Do give us a like on the video if you're enjoying our analysis. Share it with your friends as well. We'd love to know their thoughts as well. Leave us a comment on the video. We'll try and respond to that. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today.